Good evening, folks. After the rousing success of Clem and Clive's musical entertainment at the Workshop Awards pre-show, we've received a special request from our friend Endo. He's asked our dynamic duo to present a recap of all the remarkable developments that the Stormworks inventors have added to their mechanical construction system this year.
That's right, Mr. Harrington. You know, Clem, after playing all that wonderful pre-show Christmas music, it's quite exciting to now share these technological marvels with our listeners.
And what a year it's been for Stormworks. Those clever inventors started the year with quite a splash, adding a remarkable fishing system with mechanical rods that can catch, store, and even transport fish using something called hoppers.
And speaking of mechanical innovations, they then added this fascinating device they call a map icon component. From what I understand, it helps you determine which part of your vehicle is the main part for map purposes. Rather like having a tiny navigator telling you, "You are here."
The inventors then tackled something they call sticky rotation, apparently making it easier to know which way things will turn when you're building. No more confusion about which key does what.
The next addition was particularly noble. They developed search and rescue missions for people who've fallen overboard. These poor souls need to be located and transported to medical facilities.
And their fishing improvements were quite extensive. New nets with something called soft body cloth physics and systems for finding different species of fish in specific locations. They even added special sonar for finding the fish.
They added quite a variety involving animals, rescuing lost dogs, transporting livestock, and if you have something called the S&D DLC, there are even dangerous animal incidents to handle.
The inventors then made quite a splash with their improvements to fishing, adding crabs and lobsters that can be caught in special pots and making rod fishing more challenging with new fish-fighting mechanics.
Though it seems they had a bit of a quiet spell in September. While they celebrated their vehicle builders, particularly some impressive mechanical constructions, they could have done more to showcase their community's work.
But they quickly bounced back. They added something called flow rate information to their pumps and valves. Most impressive.
And they didn't stop there. They created variable speed winches and handles that can detect when someone's holding them. Imagine that! Handles that know when they're being held.
And here's something practical. They figured out how to put two wheels on one hub, just like those big trucks we see at the lumber yard.
Most remarkable was their invention of something called a thermoelectric cooler, a device that can make things colder than the air around them without ice, using electricity.
Then they added special pulleys for fluid and electrical connections, along with new racing outfits and helmets for their sportsmen.
One of their biggest achievements was something called asset modding, letting their community modify the game's files themselves, though it seems they could have done more to work with these modders, as they call them.
They didn't slow down at the end of the year either, adding rotating safety lights for emergency vehicles.
And finally, they wrapped up the year with new trailer-based cargo missions. Everything from logging trucks to heavy goods vehicles. They even increased something called the Lua character limit to 8,192.
Well, I must say, that's quite an impressive list of improvements these inventors have made to their mechanical construction system.
Indeed it is, Mr. Harrington. Though I do hope they'll work more closely with their community in the coming year.
Well, folks, that's been our recap of Stormworks developments for the Workshop Awards. Thank you to Endo for asking us to share these marvelous innovations. Now let's give out some more awards.